Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something truly amazing, a technology that tackles one of our biggest global challenges, keeping our water clean. And it does it by using one of nature's smallest and honestly most overlooked organisms. Okay, let's kick things off with a number that might surprise you, 3%. Now, what's that? Well, that's how much of the entire world's electricity is eaten up by traditional wastewater treatment plants. I mean, it's a super important job, no doubt, but that comes with a massive energy bill and a serious carbon footprint. So, you gotta ask, is there a better way? All right, here's where we're headed today. We're gonna look at the global water crisis. Then, check out this surprising green solution. We'll break down how it actually works, see how it turns waste into something valuable, and then wrap up with a look at our green, clean future. Okay, let's dive right into our first section, our global water crisis. We're going to talk about the hidden costs of keeping our water clean. You know, it's kind of a crazy paradox, right? We live on this beautiful blue planet, covered in water, 71% of it. But for billions of people, just getting access to clean, safe water is one of the biggest challenges of our time. And a huge part of that challenge is pollution. I mean, think about it. Every single day, millions of liters of this stuff, agricultural runoff, industrial chemicals, sewage, even heavy metals like lead and mercury, they all pour into our ecosystems. It creates this absolutely gigantic cleanup job that, as we've seen, takes a ton of energy. And this chart, this really hits the nail on the head. It shows the core of the problem perfectly. As our global population keeps climbing, our water pollution problem just gets worse and worse, almost exponentially. It's simple math, right? More people means more waste, and that puts an incredible strain on all our fresh water. So that brings us to our next section, the surprising green solution. Okay, so if the old ways are so energy hungry, where do we look for something better? Well, it turns out the answer might have been right under our noses, or, well, floating in our ponds all along. Yeah, what if the solution, the hero in this whole story, is something we usually dismiss as just, pond scum, something we try to get rid of? We are talking about algae. And believe me, it's about to get a serious high-tech upgrade. And to be clear, we're not talking about that green gunk in a forgotten fish tank. We're talking about a super diverse group of thousands of different species, tiny, microscopic little factories. The science of harnessing them to solve big environmental problems, that's called algal biotechnology. And trust me, it's a total game changer. All right, section 3, how algae cleans water. So, how in the world do these tiny little organisms do such a huge, important job? Well, the biology behind it's surprisingly simple and at the same time, completely genius. Okay, get this. For algae, wastewater is basically an all-you-can-eat buffet. All those pollutants we don't want in our rivers, things like nitrogen and phosphorus from fertilizers and sewage, well, it turns out that's exactly what algae love to eat. It's their favorite food. There's a cool scientific name for this, phycoremediation. Basically, the algae are just munching on all these pollutants to grow bigger and stronger. And while they do that, through photosynthesis, they release oxygen into the water. And that oxygen helps good bacteria break down other nasty stuff. It's this incredible self-sustaining partnership, a perfect little natural cycle. So, the whole system really boils down to 3 simple but super powerful steps. Step 1, you pump the polluted water into a controlled system. Step 2, the algae just go to town, absorbing all those nutrients and even nasty heavy metals, reducing toxicity by up to 90%. And then step 3, what comes out the other end is much, much cleaner water, ready to be reused for things like irrigation or in industry. Okay, so we're on to our next section, from waste to valuable resource. And you have to understand, cleaning the water, that's only half the story. The really revolutionary part, the genius of this whole thing, is what happens to the algae after it's done its job. So you harvest all this algae, which is now just jam-packed with all the nutrients it soaked up, and it becomes this incredibly valuable raw material. We're talking about turning it into biofuels to power things, protein-rich feed for animals, organic fertilizer to grow more food, and even bioplastics. It's amazing. And that, right there, is the key takeaway. This isn't just waste treatment anymore, it's resource creation. It takes a linear problem, take it, make it, throw it away, and transforms it into a completely circular solution where nothing is wasted. The waste actually becomes the beginning of something new and valuable. And when you actually look at them side by side, the difference is just, wow, it's night and day. Traditional methods guzzle energy and leave you with a bunch of useless sludge. Algal biotechnology? It literally runs on sunlight. And its byproduct isn't waste, it's a valuable resource. It's a fundamental shift in thinking from just disposing of a problem to creating a solution. All right, final section, our green, clean future. And I want to be really clear here. This isn't some far-off, futuristic dream. This is happening right now. Let's take a look at how this tech is already changing the world. You can find this tech in all kinds of places. There are small-scale systems helping local communities in India get clean water. And then you have these massive, large-scale photobioreactors at industrial plants in Europe, cleaning up heavy-duty factory waste. Algal Biotech is already making a huge real-world difference. And as the technology keeps getting more efficient, more and more places are starting to use it. I love this quote because it just perfectly sums up the whole idea. We want to accelerate the shift toward a world where technology works with nature, not against it. The most powerful and sustainable solutions are often the ones that don't try to reinvent the wheel, but instead just work to enhance the brilliant processes that nature has already perfected. So that kind of leaves us with one final big question to think about. If we overlooked the incredible power of something as simple as algae for so long, what else is out there? What other powerful natural systems are we just walking past every day, totally overlooking? It really makes you wonder. Maybe the solutions to our biggest problems have been right here, all around us, this whole time.